Welcome to our video on exchange traded funds, also known as ETFs. Yianni from OzPlan Financial Services Mitcham. Quick disclaimer, this is general information only, not financial advice. If you need to obtain financial advice, always speak to a licensed financial planner. Do not enact on any of the information you've received today. Always seek advice. We don't know you or your circumstances. So what are ETFs? Essentially, ETFs are financial products which are listed on an exchange. So what that means is you can buy and sell these products on, for example, the ASX. Now, ETFs are investments which hold a mix of assets. So it's not just a single stock that's held by an ETF. ETFs typically hold a mix of different investments. And the mix can include equities, bonds, commodities, or other securities. And they can hold a mix of all or specifically only hold equities, for example. And they do track the performance of a specific index or sector. Now, ETFs have really grown in popularity over the last few years. And according to BetaShares, the Australian ETF industry has set a record high of over $289 billion in funds under management. And of the recent inflows, international equity ETFs were certainly received the highest fund flows, followed by fixed income and then Australian equities. Now, ETFs, from anecdotal evidence, have been vastly popular for clients that wanted to gain exposure to international markets without wanting or having to invest via unlisted managed funds. So typically in the past, you were able to gain exposure to international equities via a managed fund, which are typically more active and have higher fees. And what ETFs have done is really brought accessibility to the vast majority of the population, where they can buy them on an exchange without having to go through that process of investing via unlisted managed funds through a financial planner. Now, beyond that, the benefits of ETFs are that they essentially are providing you a ready-made basket of investments which you can essentially buy and sell on the stock exchange in one click. So you can buy an ETF which holds Australian equities, or an ETF which holds international equities, or an ETF which holds a whole mix of different asset classes, and you're not having to pick and choose which investments are held by the ETF. The ETF is ready-made and it's there for you to buy off the shelf. And what this does is it allows you to gain exposure to multiple companies or investments or even management styles, which allows you to help diversify your portfolio. The saying is, don't put your eggs in one basket, and that's essentially what an ETF is trying to do. It's trying to spread out your eggs over hundreds and in some cases thousands of different baskets or investments to mitigate the risk of permanent loss of capital, and in some cases can also help you reduce portfolio risk or up and down movements in your investment returns. Now, depending on the ETF product you go for, they can either be low cost and in some cases also tax efficient, and you can also move up to more actively managed ETFs where there's someone picking and choosing individual stocks to try outperform a benchmark, and they are typically a lot higher in cost and may not be as tax efficient, but can potentially provide you the capacity to outperform the index. So each different ETF product or type has different purposes and have their own place in your portfolio. So for example, if you're a retiree, you may be targeting ETFs which aim to reduce volatility, are more conservative, and pay regular income. Whereas if you're someone that's younger and has many years ahead of them to build and grow wealth, your preference may be to buy investments that focus on growth rather than producing income. If ETFs sound interesting to you or you want to learn more about them, I encourage you to reach out to our office. I've provided our details in the description below. We're always here to help and able to provide that professional advice to ensure that the portfolio that you're wanting to construct is fitting to your goals and objectives and will complement your lifestyle. Thanks again for watching the video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to learn more. Over and out.